Hello everyone, welcome to Hong Kong Wine and Dine Festival 2020 online masterclasses, wine and spirits talks organized by Hong Kong Tourism Board. When you hear the name George Clooney, you'll probably think of movie stars, actors, or even Dream Man. But in today's section, I'll tell you that George Clooney makes people think of Casamigos Tequila. Do you know why? The speaker today will tell you why. Please welcome the Asia's 50 Best Bars, Bartenders 2020, Mr. Jay Khan. Let's welcome Jay, our bartender today.
Hi guys, how are you?
Yes, hi Jay. So happy to have you here with us today. And of course, we should say hello to our online friends. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this tasting section. I'm sure we're all excited about it. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hi, we can all hear you very well. Thank you and welcome. And of course, if any of you have questions during the tequila tasting, please feel free to raise your hand, let us know, and join the question section later. And of course, you could also send us questions through the checkbox, and Jay will try to answer them as many as possible. So our master class, the theme is mixed star cocktail with Casamigos Tequila, and we're all very excited about this. So let me pass the time to Jay to introduce the tasting kit to us.
Thank you, Elaine. So you're gonna have a bottle of Casamigo Blanco and then 2 small bottles of Casamigo Reposado, and also a shaker and a recipe card where you will have the recipe for the cocktail that we're gonna make later.
Great, for this beautiful tasting kits, it's cost $500, and if you haven't had the chance to buy them, you can still do that on our official website. So do it now while the stock lasts. So Jay, we're so happy to have you here today, and because I'm quite new to tequila, so I have a Tequila 101 question. What is tequila made of?
So tequila is actually made from a plant that's called agave, and we have approximately 200 different species all around the world. And the one that's particularly used for tequila production, it's called the blue agave.
Okay, and I want to check with our online friends and see, am I the only one who don't know what tequila is made of? Do you guys know it's made from agave plant? Who knows? Can you raise your hand and you guys all don't know? Okay, I feel a little bit better. Well, Kit and Donna knows. Okay, how about I ask either one of you, do you know which part of agave plant we use to make the tequila? This is a harder question. Do you know, Kit? Kit, do you know? Make a wild guess. Hi.
Hi.
Do you know? Which part of the plant?
No, I don't know.
Okay, how about Jay, give him 2 choices.
Is it a root?
Right, so yeah, you're right actually. He answered that.
it.
He answered that.
Good job.
Good job. So it's actually almost like a root which is hidden underneath the leaves of the agave plant. So when you shave the leaf, you will have a root that looks like a pineapple. That's what they call it in Spanish. They call it piña, which is translated into pineapple basically.
So it does look like pineapple to me, right? And of course we want to know is what makes tequila so popular?
So yeah, a lot of people don't know, but tequila is actually one of the most regulated spirit in the entire world. And tequila is actually the first product outside of Europe to have its own denomination of origin, which means it's protected under a designation of origin. You can only make tequila in certain parts of Mexico. There are only 5 states within Mexico where you can make tequila, and the major state where most tequilas come from, including our Casamigo over here, is called Jalisco. And it's also regulated by a council, which is a non-profit organization called the CRT, or in English, it's called Tequila Regulatory Council. So they're responsible for basically monitoring the process, whether it's adhering to the regulations.
So it's great to know a little bit more background of tequila, of course. And we also like to know more about the production process.
Yes, absolutely. So tequila, like I said earlier, they use blue agave. And blue agave is actually a very starchy plant. So you need to first convert the starch into sugar. It's almost like how sweet potato works. So when you buy sweet potato from the market, it is actually quite starchy. It's not going to be sweet. So you need to cook it to convert that starch into sugar. So the agave plant works the same way. First, in the tequila industry, what they do is they first cook it in an oven that's called a brick oven, which uses steam. It takes approximately 3 to 4 days to cook the agave plant. And this basically converts all that starch in the agave into sugar. That's the first step. And the second step is the agave, after it's being cooked, because it's a plant that stores a lot of water, a lot of moisture, so you can actually juice it, like a grape, for example. So in the tequila world, we use a machine that's called the roller mill or a shredder. So imagine like how you would shred sugar cane. It's almost the same process. So you need to shred the juice, and when the juice is out, you need to ferment that juice, because the juice is actually very, very sweet. So the next step is to ferment it. So the fermentation process takes approximately 3 days. In the Casamigos distillery, it takes approximately 80 hours, which is a little bit longer than 3 days basically. So this process is where the alcohol is made. The sugar inside the agave juice is being converted to alcohol. And then the next step would be to extract that alcohol from the rest of the ingredients. So this is called distillation. And distillation in the tequila world happens twice. The first time when you distill a tequila, it's called ordinario, which basically means ordinary. And then the second distillation, it's called tequila. So at least you have to distill twice. And then the last process would be to age the tequila. So this is not a compulsory step, it's optional. But if you age a tequila, the least amount of time required for aging tequila would be anywhere from 2 months or above in order to call it. It falls under different classes, which I can explain to you. A non-aged tequila, it's called a blanco, but you can age it for as long as if it's less than 2 months. So any tequila that's aged for 2 months or above, it's called reposado. And a tequila that's aged for at least 1 year, it's called añejo. And a tequila that's aged for at least 3 years is called extra añejo. So in a nutshell, this is how they categorize all the aged tequilas basically.
So that's quite some work to do before we could actually
Yes.
enjoy a tequila. And of course, thank you for all the information. And with your love of tequila, I suppose that, Jay, you have a lot of experience with agave plant in Mexico, I suppose?
Yes, absolutely. So actually, I was born and bred here in Hong Kong, but I've been going to Mexico for the past 6-7 years. And the first time when I went there, I actually really enjoyed the hospitality of the people there. I made a lot of friends. For example, you can see in the photo right now, I'm actually in the photo behind in the white t-shirt. I look very small. I'm very big now, but I look very small in the photo.
Yes.
But anyways, it's just a picture that I met some friends in Mexico. Amazing food, amazing people, safe country to go to, and most of all, they really, give you one of the best hospitalities in the world.
And hopefully we get to travel to Mexico soon.
As soon as the borders are open, I would definitely recommend you.
Yeah. Yes. And the next thing we want to know about Jay is that, well, you said you were born in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But what makes you want to open a bar in Hong Kong?
So I was born and bred here. I've been in the industry working for around 14 years now. And I always wanted to have my own bar. And I love agave spirits because of my travels to Mexico. It really inspired me to bring that, culture to Hong Kong. And that's the reason we opened our own bar that's called Koa. And Koa, it's all about agave spirits. So all our cocktails on the menu are approximately all made from tequila and mezcal, because we're here to reintroduce agave spirit to the local community, basically.
Yes, and we should thank Jay for bringing this tequila, the whole idea, and of course your love about tequila to Hong Kong and share with us. And I want to ask our online friends, as we know, our tasting kits is by this brand, Casamigos Tequila, right? So we want to find out more about this tequila. What makes it so popular? Why is it so popular? Because its taste or the branding or why?
Yeah, so one of the good things about Casamigos tequilas is it's how approachable it is. Because whenever you drink tequila, you're always afraid of that harsh flavor from the tequila, but that's because you're not drinking the right tequila. So whenever you buy a tequila, you have to make sure it says 100% agave tequila on the label, 100% agave. If it doesn't say 100% agave, that tequila is not meant for enjoying, basically. It's meant for shots. But this particular one, which is a premium tequila, it is meant for sipping, enjoying. You can mix it in cocktails, basically. So I think Casamigos really opened like a segue to drinking tequila for a lot of people, because I mean, there are other brands responsible as well, but Casamigos is one of the recent successes, actually.
Yes, and is it because any special story behind this brand that makes everyone loves it?
Yeah, I mean, if you've heard of Casamigos, I'm sure you know who's behind this brand. So the brand was started by George Clooney, who is a very, very famous celebrity, and also with his friend called Randy Gerber. So they used to go down to Mexico a lot, and they used to drink tequila a lot. And then they decided to actually create a tequila that suits their own flavor profile. And that's the idea of how Casamigos actually began. But in the beginning, it was not meant for business. It was more for their own personal consumption and for their friends, other celebrities, for example. But then eventually it turned into a business. They opened in 2013, the brand was established. And then they became really popular, and around 2017, they sold the brand to Diageo for $1 billion. Wow. That's like one of the biggest amounts ever. And that year, George Clooney was the highest paid actor, actually.
And no surprise for that.
Yes.
And with George Clooney in mind, I'm sure a lot of our online friends are very eager to try this tequila. How about we have a tasting first?
Absolutely, yeah.
Just try it straight?
Yeah, so for like any other spirit, the best way to try tequila would be neat. And I mean, there's no right or wrong way, to be honest. If you like to add it over ice, if you want to mix it in anything, that's completely okay. But if you really want to taste the essence of tequila, the pure flavor, the best way to enjoy it is actually neat. And also don't put it in the fridge or anything, because that really compresses a lot of the flavors and aroma. The best way, it's room temperature. Keep it away from direct sunlight. That's the best way, just like any other spirit, basically. Okay. So let's pour some tequila.
Okay.
Just a tiny bit.
I actually never tried this way. Am I gonna get drunk, Jay?
It depends how much you drink.
Okay, I'll try a little bit. But I think first we probably should smell it, maybe?
Absolutely. So like tasting, for example, whiskey or any other spirit that you're familiar with, the first thing you need to do is to smell the tequila. By smelling it, try and see if you can detect any familiar aromas that you might already know. Let's do this.
Let's ask our online friends as well. See if you could smell something familiar. Do you recognize the smell? I don't even know what to expect, but
can anybody get anything at all? Like anything?
Raise your hand. Well, I remember.
You get a free shot in my bar.
Shandy and Parko are so ready for it.
Okay,
Does
David,
anyone want
David.
to?
I think David, yes.
David, tell us. Hi.
Hi. There's some grass.
Grass.
Grass?
Vegetal. Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yes.
Lime, lemon, something like that, yeah.
Wow.
Really good,
Got
really
a
good.
lot of
It's
flavor.
right. So Casamigos actually produces a lot of citrus aromas. And the other very familiar aroma would be vanilla. Try and smell again, you'll get a lot of vanilla in this. It's pretty unusual for a Blanco to actually have aromas of vanilla, for example. And also there's one more thing that you can smell, which is the blue agave. I'm sure a lot of people don't know how a blue agave smell or taste like, but the best way to try from home would be to actually pour a little bit of the tequila on your palm. You can follow me and do that if you want.
Let's do it together.
You can pour a little bit on your palm like this.
Because now that we know how it looks, we don't know how it smells, so oops, a little bit too much.
It's okay, that's perfect. The more you have, the better it is, then you can actually smell more. Now you're gonna use the other hand and try and rub it.
Okay.
This way, what it's gonna do, it's going to evaporate the alcohol and leave a little bit of that essence on your palm. Now you can smell it like this. That is the smell of cooked agave, cooked blue agave. It really reminds me of like going back to Mexico. It's really crazy.
Okay, everyone close your eyes. Imagine you're in Mexico. And that's the smell you'll get from agave.
It's amazing. To me, it smells almost like a sweet potato and a sugar cane put together. So it reminds me of that.
Okay.
Sweet potato and a sugar cane, actually.
Any of our friends, do you smell sugar cane or sweet potato?
There is.
You want to share your thoughts? Let us know. Raise your hand. Okay, I see Jacqueline nodding her head. Do you smell sweet potato and the sugar cane? Hi.
Hi. Yes. It smells syrupy.
Okay.
So I get that sort of sweet smell to it. Yeah.
And have you ever
sugar cane and yeah, a bit of sweet potato. But I've never smelt tequila like this before.
Yes,
so.
never imagined that you
Quite
could do it
interesting.
on your hands or on your palms.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Well done. That's good.
Yes,
that's good.
That's a very interesting way to smell tequila, and now you know how agave plants smell.
Absolutely.
And now we should try it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Let's not waste any more on our palm. Let's put it in our mouth.
Okay.
So first of all, maybe you had some food or some other drinks earlier. The first thing I would suggest you is take a really tiny sip and try to rinse your mouth with the tequila. Just a tiny sip, and the second sip that you take, then you can actually focus on the flavors. Let's take a really tiny sip to kind of cleanse your palate first.
Okay. No, don't swallow it. Just a tiny sip.
You can swallow it. It's okay. You can
I
swallow
mean,
it.
not a big
exactly.
sip. Oh wow, it's really strong.
It's already a lot of flavor, right? Yes. Now take another sip, like a proper sip,
okay.
and try to see what flavors you can get from this.
I think Yvonne has the same expression as me with the first sip, right, Yvonne? Your face is just like me. I was like, it's quite strong. Yvonne, you have any thoughts on this? How do you like it?
It's really strong. It's like I poured like last night I have the whiskey is total like 55% whiskey here.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is a
It's
spirit.
so strong.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It is a spirit in the end of the day, so it's going to be strong. But like I said, if you think it's strong for you, you can always add ice to it. You can always dilute it with a little bit of water, soda water. That's completely fine. But the best way to try a tequila, whether it's good or not, is to actually try it neat first.
Right, and I like the aftertaste actually.
Yes.
It's actually staying in my throat right now, and a little bit sweetness in there, and yeah, I hope you guys all like it. Yeah, and actually we get a question from the checkbox for Jay. What's so special about Casamigos tequila, and does it taste different from other tequila?
Yeah, so to be honest, this particular product is actually rested for 2 months before being bottled. So by resting tequila before it's being bottled actually allows a lot of that molecules to integrate properly and also kind of soften the spirit a little bit. So if you imagine if you drink a spirit directly from the still, it might be a little bit harsh. So if you rest it for a bit and then you bottle it, it tastes a little bit more softer as well. So that's, I think, one of the specialties about Casamigo Blanco.
So we have already tried the original taste of it. How about with Jay here, Bartenders 2020, we have to ask you to demonstrate a cocktail for us, and all of our online friends could join us as well because you have all the ingredients with you, I suppose, right? Are you guys all ready to make a tequila? Show me a thumbs up if you're ready. I see that Shandy and Parker are very excited. Yes, we are all ready. So Jay, let's show us the cocktail.
All right, I've put together a very a delicious but simple drink that you can make at home, which is called Daisy My Honey.
Oh wow, so I suppose Daisy is your honey, is that right?
Actually, no, I don't know any daisies in my life, to be honest. But the reason why it's called Daisy, if you translate Daisy into Spanish, it actually means margarita. That's why it's called Daisy. And My Honey is because we're actually using honey instead of using an orange liqueur to sweeten our margarita this time.
And that's the normal ingredients we would use, right? For the orange.
Yeah, the orange is what would go into a classic margarita. But in this case, instead of using orange, we're gonna use honey because honey is something that is probably in everybody's home.
Yes, and I love honey. So what should we do first, Jay?
All right, the first thing
walk us through.
is let's take a piece of lime. And if sometimes you buy lime from the market, it can be a little bit firm. So what you do is press the lime on a chopping board like this. What this is going to do is release some of that juice trapped in the pulp. Okay? So now you can feel the lime is a lot more softer. Now you can use a knife and cut the lime in half.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, how come you guys are not cutting the lime, or you guys are already?
They already have the juice, I guess.
You're already prepared, right?
But
okay.
you can see the limes are actually very nice and moist.
Yes.
That's a good indication that all the juice that trapped inside is actually now being released. I know a lot of people might not have a juicer at home, and how would I recommend you to juice a lime would be to rest the lime along the shaker like this and just press the juice out.
Yes, that's another way
That's
to do
just
that.
one way to do it. And
So you could try?
you can see there's juice inside. There you go. So that's one way to do it basically.
Okay. Well, I see Karen is doing it right now. You could actually press it inside the shaker.
Yeah, so just press it in the shaker.
So that it doesn't leak out.
Resting on your palm. That way you're not gonna make a mess and you get the maximum juice out of it without using any tool basically. But if your lime is hard, make sure that you press it on a chopping board to make it firm. And also sometimes you might have left your limes in the fridge. That's gonna make it really firm. So if you're making a drink, you should leave it out for a couple of hours to warm it down first.
So how much lime juice do we need, Jay?
For one recipe, we're gonna use approximately 25 ml and 50 ml of tequila. But let's say if you don't have measuring devices like this, what you can do is you can use any shooter glasses, and you can use a ratio of 2 parts of tequila to 1 part of lime juice.
Okay.
That will do the job basically.
Okay, so now
All right.
let's start. Well, Kit is already trying it already. So
All right,
a lot of our friends are already mixing.
First of all, let's add these bottles of tequila. I'm making 2, so I'm gonna add 2 bottles. But if you're just by yourself tonight, then you can just use 1 bottle. So 1 bottle, we're gonna pour slowly into the shaker. And this is 50 ml. Since I'm making 2, which is 100 ml, I'm gonna pour 2 inside. Easy.
He's only doing 2 bottles, 1 drink for me and 1 drink for himself.
I'm actually having both.
Oh, fine. Okay. I'll just watch on the side.
All right, we have a little bit of lime juice that being pressed. So
Okay.
we're gonna add 25 ml per drink. Since I'm making 2, I'm gonna add 50 ml.
Okay.
There you go.
I think they're following really well. They're all doing.
I think they're all, yeah, you
Doing
can
it at
work
the
in
same
my
time.
bar if you guys wanna have a part-time job.
Yes, hire me.
Right, so the last ingredient is actually the honey. Since honey, different brands have different consistency and different sweetness to it, I suggest what you see on the recipe card is just a guideline, a reference. You can add as much as you like or as little as you like. There is no rule to this. Everybody have a different palate. So just make sure that you add enough. Don't add too much at the same time because you can't take it back out.
Right.
So for our case, we're gonna just
Use a measuring cup.
measuring cup.
And does it matter what kind of honey we use? Or-
Yeah, so basically try and find honey that are natural and organic. Try to avoid honey that are with any artificial flavor, and also try and support local honeys if you know where to find them. Like we all want to support our local farms actually.
Okay. I think everyone have already put the honey in their shaker. Yes, all done. Give me a thumbs up so that we know you are all ready to add some ice in, I believe, and then we'll shake it.
Before we add any ice,
Okay.
let's use a spoon to mix all the ingredients together, just to make sure that the taste is right.
Okay. So just any kind of spoon, stir it a little bit.
Yeah, any kind of spoon, just stir it, mix all the ingredients well, and just pour a little bit behind your palm like this.
I want to try, since I don't get the whole cup.
There you go. Okay, 1 second.
Can I get some? Okay.
Just make sure that the balance is correct. And
I like that lime juice.
okay, since I'm making the drink, I have to make sure that I wipe my hand.
Yes.
We all need to be clean these days.
And I washed my hands already. Make sure that we have our
Right.
hands clean, right? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you're ready, now we're gonna add the ice.
So how much ice should we add into our shaker?
So the ice really depends on how big or how small your ice is, or how dry or how wet your ice is. But at home, I don't expect you to have really good quality ice. So just make sure that you add approximately 20% above your liquid line.
Okay.
That should be sufficient. And you don't always have a lot of ice at home. We don't want you to use up all your ice just for one cocktail, actually. Just like this, there you go.
So do we have the ice in the shaker? Are we all ready?
So now, if you have all the ingredients inside, let's wait for everybody.
Yes.
I think everybody's ready almost.
They're all very good students. Look at them. They're following step by step.
I think they've done this before. I can tell.
They're all experts.
All right, now very important, when you seal your shaker like this, make sure that you remove the cap to let the excess air out first, and then you put it back in. If you don't do this step, sometimes what happens is it will explode because of too much air trapped inside. And now, before you shake, one more thing is, if you have never held a shaker before, make sure that you have your left arm wide open, place the shaker on top, and use all your fingers to wrap it.
Okay.
And then the other hand, use your thumb, press the cap, and then wrap it up with all your fingers as well, like that. This way, it's safe and secure. It's not gonna fall out of your hand. And whenever you shake a cocktail, make sure that you don't shake in front of whoever your guest is, who is your friends trying to visit you. Always shake sideways, because this way, even though it fall out of your hand, it's not gonna hit anybody. All right, so let's shake this. You
Ready?
shake it as long as you feel like your shaker is nice and cold, okay?
Are you all ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's do it your own way, your own style. It's okay to spill it. It's your own home. Okay. I like all your shaking style.
Yes, keep going, keep going.
Keep going, yay.
Okay. All right, very good.
Good. Gym time at the same time, right?
Exactly, that's why you can see I'm so big. Now, you can take out your glasses. Just open the cap. No need to open the entire shaker, just the cap like this.
Okay.
And pour it directly
Wow.
into your glasses. If you have shaken the cocktail properly, you will see there's a very nice layer of foam, right? This is the air bubbles that were trapped in the shaker.
Okay. So could you show your drink to us? Do you see a layer of foam on top? Not really. Ernest is shaking his head. Well, maybe it tastes really good.
David, very nice. You can see David has a very nice foam.
Okay, let's show everyone.
Now,
And what do we do
you can
next?
top it up with more ice if you want. But this
Okay.
is not a compulsory step. If you don't have any more ice, that's completely fine. Because margaritas you can drink on the rocks and straight up.
Okay.
In our case, since we have a lot of ice,
So
I would love to add some ice to fill up the...
Just a few more pieces.
This way, you can also rest your garnish on top. So, which is pretty cool. There you go.
So let's decorate our drink a little bit. Are we going
Let's
to
cut.
use lime?
A little bit of lime wheel.
So you could do it your own way at home, right? Just
Yes.
choose the ingredient that you like, but I
There you
think
go.
lime goes perfectly with this
Just
drink.
rest the lime over the drink. That's it.
Yay!
One for you
Thank you.
and one for me.
Are you guys all ready? Let's show your drink to everyone. Are you all ready? And we're gonna try it together. And I think we should do a Spanish way. I mean, how do you say
Cheers.
cheers in Spanish?
In Mexico, we say salud.
Salute.
Exactly.
Okay, let me make sure that everyone is ready. Okay, Shandy and Parker, one is gonna go straight from the bottle. Okay, are we ready? Let's do a salute together. Are you ready? One. Oh, let's wait for Judy. Okay. Are you ready, Judy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Go,
1,
go,
2, 3.
Cheers! Salute!
Cheers.
Cheers, salute.
Again, try and smell the drink and then have a sip.
So good.
It's really good, yeah.
It's very refreshing. The lime juice and the honey just go perfectly.
Perfect, perfectly balanced. Again, I mean, it's subjective. Some people like it sweet, some people like it more sour. Some people might like it more tequila or less tequila. That's completely up to you. But this is our recipe, so it's very good.
Well, unfortunately, you can't taste this drink from Jay, but you are making your own personal tequila and share with us about your thought and how you like it. Maybe, how about Ernest? Ernest, you were having a hard time to get that thin layer of foam, but I think it might taste really good. What do you think? Tell us about your thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. It tastes great. It blends well with honey. I mean, I like it a little bit sweeter. And then it's sunny outside. It's perfect drink at this moment.
Thank you, Ernest. I'm sure it's really good. Thank you, Ernest. How about one more friend to share with us about your drink? How about Shandy and Parko? Well, I see the whole bar in your house. Do you like your drink?
Yeah, the drink is very good, very nice. But I would like to ask, what is the best food for the cocktail or on the rock?
Sorry, on the rocks or straight up, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's really subjective. Like, for example, like in our bar, sometimes we have guests. They like margaritas on the rocks. Sometimes they don't like it on the rocks. But it depends on the weather. It depends on your mood, to be honest. Sometimes if it's hot, if it's in the day, and if it's sunny, and if you want something a little bit more cold, you can use ice. But maybe if it's winter, for example, and you're inside your house or in a bar, you don't want a drink to be very, very cold, then you just remove the ice. Basically, it's very subjective. It really depends on the weather, it depends on your mood.
Yes, and I'm sure a lot of you could shake up a drink for your friend next time when they come visit you. And right now, let's open up the time for our friends to ask any kind of questions for Jay. If you have a question about the tequila or your drink, please feel free to raise your hand, let us know. You have questions for Jay? You really like your drink, or you could share your thoughts about the drink? Okay, Jacqueline.
Hi, I wanted to ask for tequila, if we do any, what food would go best with tequila?
Great. It's actually a really good question because tequila, the spirit tequila is actually very different than the rest of the spirits. Most of the spirits that we drink have the perception of, let's say, sweetness, but when it comes to tequila, mostly it's going to be savory, grassy, vegetal almost. So the food that you pair with, again, it depends. I personally do not prefer drinking a straight spirit with a particular food because a straight spirit is always very strong and it really sometimes destroys the palate of some delicate food, for example. So I would always mix it. I would always mix it in a drink. For a drink like this, for example, beautiful, vibrant, citrusy, refreshing, perfect for food that is a little bit, let's say, rich, oily, or even spicy. Because that way you can always cleanse your palate with every bite you take. The drink will help you, refresh your palate for another bite. So it really depends on the drink in the end of the day.
Okay, thank you, Jay. How about we take one question from the check box? What is the name Casamigos mean?
Great, good question actually. So Casamigo loosely translate into house of friends because casa in Spanish means house and amigo means friend. So when you put Casamigo together, it loosely translates as house of friends. So the reason why this product is called Casamigo, it's because George Clooney actually have a house in Mexico named Casamigo, and it's actually his house and his friend's house, and they're like right next to each other. That's why they call it the Casamigos, basically.
Thank you, Jay. Well, thank you for all this great insight about tequila and this drink. It's so yummy. And just a friendly reminder that this tasting kit, it's $500 and you could purchase them online on our official website. So act now before they're all gone. And of course, before I finish my drink, let's do one more toast together and a selfie together with all of our online friends. And I hope you're all having a good time. Well, I see Carrie is finishing up her drink already. She's almost done. Okay, let me get ready for my camera. Okay, you guys all like your drink, huh? Okay, let's get ready and say salute together. Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3. Salute!
Salute!
Thank you, everyone. So later on today at 4:45, Brewmaster Chris Wong will show you some of the best pairings with easily accessible snacks. So for those of you who have signed up for the class and if you have already purchased the tasting kit, make sure you have them ready and stay tuned for the program. So once again, thank you, Jay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Hope you had a great time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Thank
see you at the bar, yeah?
Yes, see you guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ciao.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye, guys.
香港美酒佳肴巡禮網上大師班美酒佳話將會壓軸呈獻超級 Party 同味蕾新勢力。星級調酒師 Jay Khan 會教大家調製荷里活式龍舌蘭雞尾酒。有冇諗過手工啤配便利店小食，原來可以咁夾咁好玩？洋酒師 Chris 話過你知。如果葡萄酒同芝士係絕配，咁手工啤夾芝士又會有咩嘢化學作用呢？侍酒師 Kingston 同芝士專家 Bonnie 會即場拆解。世界級調酒師 Antonio 同專業咖啡師 Timmy 會聯手發掘威士忌同咖啡之間嘅種種混合美學。威士忌之鄉蘇格蘭有6大產區，各有唔同嘅地理、風土及歷史。威士忌達人帶路開展蘇格蘭威士忌之旅，原桶入瓶同夠晒純正味道嘅威士忌。品酒雜誌總編輯 Nelson 率先同你試飲，大家仲可以同呢班大師即場品酒，即時互動。一個網睇晒直播同點播，完全免費。